Welcome to the MoneyWise Channel. On this channel, we talk about inspirational events and a lot of great money things, and always know that success goes to the person that holds on after everybody else has let go. Usually I talk about things that people send me or I find on my own. And today I'm going to give my reaction on a person by the name of Kim Kardashian. I seen this interview, and it was Kim Kardashian's interview on the power of women and social networks. It's the Kim Kardashian's interview on the power of women and social networks. So before I go into what she actually talked about on a basic level, I'd like to give a little background of a person. Most people know who Kim Kardashian is, but for those that don't, here's some basics. She's from Los Angeles, California. She's basically a socialite, model, businesswoman, producer, actress, mother. She was born October 21st, 1980. Her full name is Kimberly Noel Kardashian. Her mother's name is Kris Jenner, and her dad's name was Robert Kardashian. He was an American attorney, and he's best known for the 1995 O.J. Simpson murder trial. He was one of the main attorneys that was leading it. And he has passed, so he's not here. That's why I'm using was. But that's her father forever on a basic level, But he has passed. That's why I'm saying was. And he was a great attorney. That wasn't the only time he was an attorney. He was just a great attorney, period. But he's best known by the massive or the majority of people for the 1995 O.J. Simpson murder trial. So if you Google that, you'll find her father, and that's where we hear the name Kardashian the most. She has two sisters and a brother. I believe one of them is Chloe. There's Courtney, and then her brother Rob. Kim basically first got into the media, I would say, start grabbing attention with another female by the name of Paris Hilton. Yes, Paris is related to the hotels Hiltons. That is her family. And basically what she did for Paris, she was her friend, but she also was her stylist. So whenever you used to see Paris, you used to see Kim with her. They'd be out kicking it, having fun, but she would style her clothes. She would help her, fix up her closet. And Kim didn't just do it for Paris. She did it for a couple different people in Hollywood. She was like a shopper. She'd go shop for them. Then she would also grab the stuff out of their closet that they didn't need, and she would sell it for them and then replenish them with the newer objects or the new pieces of fashion that they may want. She would travel the world and shop for them, make sure they had everything they need to look nice for their appearances. And many people might remember in that time period, Paris was really famous for kicking it. She even had her own little TV show. I mean, she was real hot at that time. And then she got the little sex tape situation, and they had The Night in Paris was the name of the sex tape. And then she was just huge over huge. So that's the first time you hear about a sex tape situation with Paris Hilton was someone of that caliber. Now, Kim being her friend, some would say she understood that. So around 2002, Kim's tape came out underground, and it was called Kim Kardashian. I don't think it had a name yet, but it was Kim Kardashian, and she had Ray J, and it was her and Ray J in the sex tape. And for those that don't know who Ray J is, that's Brandy's, the R&B singer's brother. That's her little brother. He was in it. And not when he was little, it was when he's grown. It was him and Kim. They were both in it because they were dating at the time. They did the sex tape. And Ray J, he had some good songs. He had a song called Wait a Minute that featured Little Kim. And he also had a song called One Wish. So if you was to Google that, you see that's who he was. But moving along, Kim and Ray, they did a sex tape 2002. It was starting to really bubble and people hearing about it. But I believe it was actually 2007 when they actually released it, distributed it all over the world. And it was distributed through a company called Vivid Entertainment. So Vivid, they had many other adult movies, but this one really made them a lot of money. And I believe overall Kim received about $5 million, $5 to $7 million for being a part of it. And then Ray J did too. So you always hear Ray J say he has a lot of money and he was able to do many other big things, but they both got paid out really good for the tape. So that they made their money off of that. And Kim said she didn't know a lot about it. Ray said he didn't know a lot about it. So you could say they received their monies because the tape got out and Vivid used it. However you want to say it, but the point is they did receive money and it did help them move along. As you know, today Ray J has done a lot of things. He has Raycon and stuff like that. And I believe, when you make money, you're able to put money behind records and, move along. So they both did well with their money from the tape that they had put out, or that was put out, and maybe it wasn't their fault. But the point is, it got out and people watched it and they made money. That's all I'm saying, through Vivid Entertainment. Now, a year later, or maybe later that year, after the release of this sex tape with her and Ray, they started their show. And that's why some people will say, well, that sounds kind of funny that would come out, and then later that year they start their show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's in the same year, 12 months, that the sex tape is fully released, and then here we come with the show. So automatically people watching the tape, they know who she is now. They know what it is. They already seen Paris Hilton's tape. She was cool with her. You see the connection, and they're gonna just come on over and watch the show. Even though it's a public show, it's still that back thought period of wow, she had this other tape. And it wasn't like the internet now, like you can just go to Pornhub and go like this was a little earlier in the game, so people were still watching VHSs and stuff like that. So she was like a real, star, you could say, in that different type of gray area. And like I said, Ray and her both was able to move forward after that. Now, keeping up with the Kardashians has been so successful that you gotta think it started from 2007, and this is 2021 where this is being made, and this show is still successful. But 2021 is supposed to be the last year. But that's a long time for a show to run on TV and people actually pay attention. So that was in 2007 that when that show started, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. In 2008, she really started to concentrate even more on her social networks, which she spoke about. Social networks to her was a big thing because she really locked in onto it like never before, like really as a business standpoint, with her mother, Kris Jenner, which is very smart. Like, and this thing about Kris Jenner, her last name is Jenner because she ended up marrying another person last name Jenner after Kardashian. She was a Kardashian too, but when she got married again, and that's why her last name is Jenner. So they start to work together as a family, as a whole, all the sisters and brothers, working on social networks because they had the TV show to keep everything moving along. So as they did that, they built on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And they start to build up millions and millions and millions of followers. And by doing that, that started to really get bigger and bigger to the point that people was coming to their social networks and people was spending money with them for them just to post. Anybody that was a Kardashian, if you made a post, you could make up $50,000, $100,000, sometimes $200,000 just on one post. It was insane. So she really locked in on that and got a team behind her on that. So with her new fame, moving away from just a sex tape, she had the show where she was showing more of her regular life, and then she was also, doing very well on social networks so people could see her beyond this sexual lifestyle. So in 2008, she appeared in a couple of different movies. She was in a movie called Disaster. She was in a movie called, as the time went on, Deep Valley. She was in another movie called Temptations, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. I think Tyler Perry actually did that one. That was like in 2013 or 2015, something like that. somewhere in 2013, 2015. She did the Temptations, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. You can look it up. My point is, she really started to do other things beyond, what she did her filming before, so she started to curve it off into something else, which I think that's great. Sometimes you get yourself caught up in things and they could try to knock you down and put you down, but she's always seen how to keep herself going. I think that's great. 2014, she started a mobile game, because like I said, she was already doing well on social networks. People was already rocking with her. So what she did was she had a game invented called the Kim Kardashian Hollywood. Kim Kardashian Hollywood. That's it. Kim Kardashian Hollywood. And in this game, it was for iOS or Android. And what you could do is you could go on there and be a star. It was like you could buy clothes, you could set up interviews, and it was this whole thing about building yourself up. So many people played the game, crossed the border. They enjoyed it. It was a fun little app, but this app made millions of dollars. Once again, millions of dollars. Many sponsors with it. So as 2017 came, she moved over to fragrances. It was KKW fragrance. KKW, Kim Kardashian with a W fragrance, which KKW because the W came along because she ended up getting married. And she ended up getting married, and that put the W, so Kim Kardashian West. But she KKW fragrance, and she had big endorsements from like Carl's Jr. They put a lot of money behind her, and she just continued to grow. She married Kanye West in 2014. So when she started KKW fragrance in 2017, she had already been married for 3 years, because in 2014 she married Kanye West, and they have 4 children, I believe, at this time. North, which is a girl, they call it Northy. They have Saint, which is a boy, Chicago, which is a girl, and Psalm, which is a son. They have 4 kids: Northy, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. And so she had 4 by Kanye West, and they continue to grow. And together, their combined efforts, they're doing very well, because they complement each other as far as fame is concerned. Now, in 2019, she funded a 90 Days to Freedom campaign, which she put most of her money behind. And through the years of working on that, she got released about 17 people that were unfairly put in prison. Released 17 plus people, and she released them under the First Step Act, which was signed by President Donald Trump. He signed the act to help her be able to release people that did nothing wrong or were in bad situations. It was called the 90-Day Freedom Campaign, which she funded herself, which is just great. And she spoke about it also in an interview with Variety, and she also spoke in another interview. She was speaking about when she was robbed in Paris. And she was talking about the power of a woman, because when she was robbed for $10 million worth of jewelry. And she said they put a gun in her, grabbed her, gagged her, put tape over her mouth, put her in a tub. And, she was scared. But eventually when they left, she laid in there for a while. She wiggled out and was able to get up and call for help. And she just kept telling herself, I want to live. I want to live. So she was able to get herself out of that situation, stay focused on what she needed to do for her kids. And I showed the power of a woman. And also, earlier you hear me talk about the things she's talked about with social networks that she concentrated on to make her big. With all this type of things, the up and downs that she went through, she was able to push herself and get to a beautiful place where she has made it to today. So we want to congratulate her on her children. We want to congratulate her on her success. And now she has a net worth of $900 million. That's what I read before I decided to do this video. $900 million of her own money. We got to say we're proud of her. She went through ups and downs, but she made it. And I just want y'all to get out of this. Stay excited about life. We'll be dropping more videos to inspire you. Faith without works is dead. Remember, keep your eyes out for the small things as you're doing the big things. She always was willing to do something like a app or a fragrance or anything that, or help somebody shop. She did little things to make sure she could always get herself in the position she needed to be. You got to keep your eyes out for the small things as you're doing the big things. Like and subscribe to this MoneyWise channel for more wisdom. Remember that plans may change, but the goals stay the same. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Yep.